At Boar's Head, we place a premium on authenticity, and the home-roasted flavor of our Ever-Roast chicken is no exception. Inspired by a medley of ingredients from the garden, a family recipe, and slow-roasted craft. It's the authentic taste of home and the unmatched quality of Boar's Head. Ever-Roast chicken, sliced fresh at the deli, only from Boar's Head. Compromise elsewhere.
Welcome to Blog Talk Radio in high fidelity.
You are tuning in to a Goldilocks Productions presentation of the Quantum Path Radio Show with Dennis Anderson. Dennis is a psychic medium, a hypnotist, and spiritual teacher. He has had a gift to perceive the subtle energies from an early age, turning off the gift at the age of 20 to live life, love, and understand human behavior. To have it reawaken again during his late 30s due to a calling that was loud and needed to be answered, Dennis was urged by Spirit to learn more, grow more, and share his gifts that others can benefit by exploring their own unique abilities. Call in now if you would like to speak to Dennis. The call-in number is 713-955-0594. Press 1 so that you can get into the host queue.
Welcome, everybody, to another day of the Quantum Path Radio Show. As announced at the top of the hour here was my name, Dennis Anderson, and yes, I'm here to help you, serve you in whichever way possible. Let's put it this way. I got an interesting show for you today, or at least I was going to anyway, but I did have a guest host earlier. Unfortunately, he is feeling not very well. He's under the weather right now. So, Patrick, if you're out there and if you're listening, I give you healing prayers and love and everything else that goes along with that. So I hope you get better soon, my friend. So, today, what is it? Today is September 11th. And yes, back in 2001, there was a couple of, let's put it this way, interesting things that did happen. We did obviously have this is the anniversary of the horrific accidents that did happen over at the World Trade Center, and I do feel very bad for that because let's put it this way, it is still in everybody's minds and memories, and everybody can still remember where they were at that time when it did occur. Heaven knows I sure did, because I was definitely thinking of I think I was going to be taking a trip to Florida, if I wasn't mistaken, actually, the day after. On the 12th on that day, or of that week, I should say. And let's put it this way, when I saw it on the news, I knew right away that, let's put it this way, that things were not going to happen. And it's very sad, you know, like, and all those people that had lost their lives, all the damage, all the destruction. I know that, let's put it this way, there has been a numerous amounts of, I guess you could say, conspiracy theory in regards to what had happened that day. And let's put it this way, you know, like, will we ever really, truly know? Probably not. And that's the sad part about this. Did other things come out of it? Well, obviously, yes. You know, like, supposedly it was, you know, the war on terror and so forth. And it led a lot of people to have lost their lives well after. I guess you could say, not just the 3,000 that on that day, but all the soldiers, all the people that have given up their lives from that day forward to fight a battle on this war against terrorism. So, as we look at this, was it needed? Was it necessary? Don't know. And let me put it to you this way. I I know that there's a lot of opinions out there, and I'm sure that there's some very strong opinions going both ways on it. But let's put it this way, though. Now, this day and age, here and now, we do have the hurricanes that are going on right now. Like we had Harvey the previous week. Now we are dealing with Irma, and then from what I understand, there's another one coming up as well called Jose. So let me put it to you this way. The world is understanding that there's probably something going on, okay? I do believe that the world does carry a consciousness. You can call it Mother Gaia, you can call it Mother Earth, you can whatever. I don't really care what you call it. The thing is that I do believe that there is a consciousness out there that affects the world one way or the other. So the thing is that before all these hurricanes, yes, there was the nuclear demonstration by, I guess you could say, the North Koreans, causing this really large earthquake out there. Like, I think it was like I don't know what it was like a 7 or 7.5 or something like that. Then, of course, there was that other earthquake in Mexico. The thing is that a lot of people right now are distraught. They're worried. There's a lot of things going on, that are causing us to question, to wonder why things are the way they are. And yeah, there's a lot of darkness in the world, and I guess you could say one of our friends here in the Goldilocks network, his name is Anthony, and let's put it this way. He mentioned you cannot understand the dark or you can't understand the light until you understand the darkness. And that's something that I preach myself, actually. We do have to go through a period of darkness sometimes to really bring about the lightness of the world. And the same thing goes with, let's say, for example, if you look in history, if you look at the Renaissance, like we never really understood, let's say, for example, all the beauty of the art and the science and whatever that came out of the Renaissance, that awakening that did happen until basically we went through those few hundred years of the Dark Ages. So there is something like that happens, like within the world that is needed. And we do have to go through these things to really understand, where we are in life and where we want to be in life. There's an aspect within all of this, and I've said it before too, as many times, that let's put it this way: there's a polarizing effect, I guess you could say, within the world, and it's just becoming more polarized as we go on. There seems to be less and less of that gray area in between. Like there's no real center area anymore, where it's either you're on one side or you're on the other. Like you're either, let's say, Democrat, or you're Republican, or you're liberal, or you're conservative. Like whichever, or like if you're looking at it politically, or if you're looking at it even religiously, it's like you can be a Catholic, or you can be a Muslim, or you could be, a Taoist, or you could be a Hindu. But what, in all reality, are we looking at here? We have to start questioning. We have to start looking at things a little bit differently. Like we can't just blindly follow anymore. And I really do feel that there should never be any of this blind following of the world anymore, or of our leaders anymore. Like we need to question. We need to look at the things. And I don't mean just political leaders. I'm also saying like we should be questioning our spiritual leaders, our other leaders within, even within our communities. There's an aspect to leadership that is very important. And that's something that today, if anything, I want to try to hopefully awaken within you right now, is this aspect of leadership. Leadership is something that can be done within your own life, within your own family, within your own community and within your own circle of influence, I guess you could say. I've been I guess you could say, a manager of a fairly large store at one point. I did that for about 10 years. I was fairly successful at it, let's put it that way. But the thing is that there's something about when you are working with other people, and I've worked with managers that were leaders that were not very good. They didn't motivate. They didn't make the people understand why they needed to do something or why something was important. So the thing is what I'm trying to get at to you right now today is for you to awaken within yourself the aspect of the leadership within you and within your own community or your family or whatever. What are the aspects of leadership? Like we're looking at, let's say, for example, honesty. We're looking at communication. We're looking at confidence and commitment, having a positive attitude, maybe some creativity as well. These are all great aspects to have within a leader. And if you can awaken those aspects within you, and the beautiful thing about actually the spiritual community that I'm a part of, as well as many of you others out there that are listening or talking to, or are part of yourselves, is the fact that they want to see something better in their lives, or they want to see something better within their communities. So what are they doing? They're out there, they're looking at doing something to create some sort of maybe just a little bit of extra positivity. They're looking for the solutions to the problems. How are they doing that? What are they doing? Like they're questioning. They're looking at something like, can it be better? The same thing can go for anything. Like what can we do to make the world a little bit of a better place? And this is the thing here that many spiritual leaders should be looking at and questioning. And like I said, it's not just spiritual aspect. It's a leadership within yourself. Are you honest with yourself? Are you communicating honestly with yourself? Do you have the confidence within yourself? Do you have that commitment? Do you have that positive attitude? Do you have that creativity? So the thing is that start bringing some of those things a little bit out at a time. Work on it every day, just that little bit, and that's all it takes is just a little bit. Look at somebody, see what you can do to help them. See what you can do to make their lives maybe just that little bit brighter. And it doesn't take much. Sometimes it's just giving your ear to listen. Maybe you just need to help them out, like just to, like I've had neighbors, for example, that, let's say their vehicle wasn't working, and I went over and I just gave them a hand for a few minutes or anything. That's all it takes. It's just a little something, and that in turn is going to turn you into the leader within your sphere of influence, your own community. And yeah, it's okay to question, what can I do? What is it? The answers will come to you if you put out the intention of just realizing that you can do something a little bit more within your life and around the people around you. And even if you start looking at it from a global scale, and that's the thing here too. Realizing that, let's say, for example, like, okay, Korea just put off a nuclear, explosion over there. And yeah, that's pretty scary stuff, considering that and how much of that is the media maybe inflating something, or I don't know. Like, I am not there. I do not understand the inner workings of everything totally. But the thing is that what does the media love to do? They love to promote negativity. And how often do you see a good news type story unless it's some sort of little puff piece, I guess you could say, that, of the, and for some sort of reason I keep thinking of the squirrel riding the, a skateboard or something like that, which is, like it's cute, but where's the realness in it? So the thing is that what I'm trying to get at is for you to create those moments of realness. Look for the good news within yourself, within the people around you. Like the other day I was actually driving by, there's a spot on Kingston Road here. I'm just up in Toronto. But let's put it this way, not really the best area. But in all reality, though, like you could see, like where they actually started painting these little murals, and they're not big. They're actually very small. They're just part of the fence work. But my daughter loved it so much that she wanted to take a picture of it. And the thing is that what they did was they actually took some of the community members there, and they gave them that canvas, to paint on, to show something that there is a bright spot within the, I guess you could say, in the not so great areas. These are just little things, though. And, the thing is that the people that painted them, it probably affected their lives very distinctly. We all remember those times in our lives when we were younger or whatever, that maybe we had a teacher that influenced us in a really positive way. Yes, there was always those bad teachers, and I get that. I've had them too. But there was always those few teachers, and I remember one especially. Her name was Mrs. Brown. She was in my grade 5, actually, class. And you know what? She really brought out a lot of aspects within me that I didn't realize I had. She saw something in me. See those types of qualities within the people around you. Bring those things out. Highlight them. Show them off a little bit to them so that this way they know. Then in turn they will pay it forward. Like there's this aspect which is very beautiful, that if you allow yourself to do it, it can be very powerful, and you can start making some very strong changes within the world around you. So anyway, just a couple of things. If you are interested in calling in, my number is 713-955-0594, and if you do want to get a hold of me for a private reading, that is always possible. You can reach me at Dennis J. Anderson, SEN.com. Feel free to give me either an email, or if you have any questions or comments, that's fine too. I'm all right with that. Or you can give me a call directly, and my number is actually up on the website as well at 647-949-1429. So anyway, I do believe I have a caller now. So if I can get caller 201, please, that would be fantastic.
Hi, Dennis. This is Rose.
Hi, Rose. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you. Very, very well. So what can I do for you today?
I have a question. I have money concerns right now, and I'm wondering, what do you see in my future regarding my finances? Do you see an improvement, or?
Okay. Well, even before I actually put out any cards, for some sort of reason, actually, I am saying that there is going to be some improvement, but it does feel like there is going to be a little bit of time yet here, okay? Now, time-wise, I do feel almost as if it's still going to be maybe another couple of weeks before something really starts to pick up. It's almost as if there's going to be a little bit of it's almost like a hurry up and wait sort of feel to this, and I don't know why I want to say that. I do feel, though, that you're going to be getting some news here very soon, and it does feel like there is going to be some big changes coming for you, okay, because it's almost as if there's going to be like maybe a work change or something like that is going to come up, that is actually going to kind of solidify, I guess you could say, something new, something good coming. I feel there's a male presence around you that's actually going to help you with some of this, and he feels older, so I don't know if it's like going to be like maybe like through like business-wise, it could be through a headhunter, or it could be a friend, somebody that's going to give you some sort of information in regards to, I guess you could say, like finding some help here in regards to the financial aspect of things. And I'm almost wanting to say something about a short-term loan or something like that may come about too.
Okay.
Very interesting. But like I said, I do sense that there is going to be something happening here. I do feel that somebody is going to, like I said, give you some money. And even the cards are actually kind of telling me that as well.
It's not going to be like a lottery, because honestly, I don't have anybody to give me money, unless it's a headhunter who's going to find me a job, or the lottery. I don't know, but honestly, I don't have anyone.
Okay. Well, it feels like it's going to be like a surprising sort of thing. But the thing is let me ask you this: what are you doing to put yourself out there in regards to?
I started looking for work, of course.
Okay, good.
It's going to take a little time. They say the economy is improving and President Trump's jobs are strong. I don't see it yet, but I'm hopeful. Like he says, it's fake news.
Exactly. All this stuff is all fake.
I know, and he's fake too, because I don't see that jobs are strong, but he seems to think so.
Well,
so
you know, I think the thing is, though, is that maybe it's not so much it's been in the rebound for a while. Okay, and that's the thing here. Now, the other thing too that is obviously is happening, though, is that yes, there is, like economically anyway. Like, yeah, you guys are just getting battered down there with hurricanes galore. So that is going to create a lot of, let's put it this way, additional work for a lot of people, like over the next little while. Maybe not so much for you where you're located, but the thing is, though, is that it has to do something. You know what I mean? Like, and that's the thing here. What I was actually trying to get at is, let's say, for example, like with yourself, make certain that you're looking at all the avenues, okay? And that's the thing that I want to say here is like look at the social media things like the LinkedIn's. Those
I do. I'm all over the internet. Oh.
Good. That's the important thing, because, like I said, it just feels like there's still a little bit of time here that does have to kind of happen, but in the long run, I am getting you actually working, and I do see you actually doing something, like, let's put it this way. I'm getting you, for some sort of reason, behind a desk, behind a computer, doing some sort of work, and that's the thing here.
Okay,
also,
so the finances will be improving.
They will be. It's just, like I said, it's just, like, this is a kind of, let's put it this way, year-wise, it just feels like, yes, it's been kind of like up and down. When it gets closer to the end of the year, I think that's when things are really going to be, like, you're going to look back and say, like, whew, okay, it's done.
Great.
You know what I mean? So, and I really do feel that for you.
Oh, great. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. It's my pleasure. Okay, then. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, so the thing that like I said, that I was getting at here is try to look within your own communities. Okay, like what can you do? And even when it comes to, let's say, for example, like whether it be looking for work, finances, those types of things. When you feel that things are low, Okay, so in other words, if you feel that things are not going very well, that you're having issues, that you're struggling, well, what are you doing? Okay, so start questioning what are you doing within your own life that you can do to maybe make a change. So, and I get it. Everybody goes through things, and it's really hard sometimes to actually look at ourselves. And trust me, I know, because I've done a lot of interior looking myself over the past while, because those are one of those things that, like you always do after a while, is that you're always going to be questioning. You always want to see, like, okay, well, what are my patterns? What am I doing? Can I do something a little bit different to make it a little bit better? And that's the thing that I'm looking at, let's say, for all of you out there, is what are your patterns? Like, are you hoping at home, crossing your fingers for, let's say, that lottery, or for that aspect of, somebody to come along and do the work for us? Or do we actually have to maybe sit back and say, like, okay, well, maybe I got to wake up, let's say, another hour earlier and get a jump on certain things. Maybe I need to stay away from Facebook for a little while, and give myself maybe a little less time on that. And if you start getting those creative juices flowing, like getting out there, networking with other people, getting involved in various groups. And it could be a church group if you're interested, or it could be, let's say, for example, a meetup group, which is another good way to network with other people. Especially when, with meetup too, like there's various people that, they're there with a common understanding or a basis of, what it is that's going on or what they want to do, whether it be a business entrepreneurial meetup, or whether it be maybe a spiritual one, like, or a development sort of courses like I run. But they're there together to grow, to get people together to share ideas. Okay, and if you're really looking for work, well, get out there and start looking at some of the other groups that are out there that are doing some of the same sort of things that you're interested in. Maybe somebody else will have an idea of, oh, have you tried, let's say, for example, this place, or have you tried, like you're always going to be expanding and growing that way. And it's hard to do that when you're at home. And that's the thing here. And that's something that I even had to learn myself. Like, I like to think that sometimes, I got all the answers, but no, we don't. I don't have all the answers. And I'm always constantly trying to learn, and to learn from other people. And it's actually helped me to open up my eyes, I guess you could say, to many things. Beforehand, I guess you could say, I'd almost start to look at things from a judgmental sort of perspective, and that was very damaging to me. So what I needed to do, though, is I started going out there. I started experiencing other people, and I started keeping my mind open. When you keep your mind open, the creativity flows, and the next thing you know, something happens. But be confident in who you are, too. Like, if you're questioned, if you self-doubt yourself, if you, and there's a questioning that is good, and there's a questioning that is bad. So the thing is that, if you're questioning yourself and your own abilities, well, that's not necessarily a good thing. Be confident within who you are, but be open enough and humble enough to understand that you don't have all of the answers either. We're much stronger as a community. We're much stronger as a people if we can work together. You get all these, like, if everybody took a little piece of information, we can become our own supercomputers, let's put it that way. And in essence, we are. We're all connected, through I guess you could say, through divine spirit and source. And when you start to realize that, you can tap into those things. There's no such thing as a new idea out there, because let's put it this way, it's always it's been thought of before. Maybe it's been improved upon, yes, but it has been thought of before. Question and look for those things, but be committed to yourself. Be that leader within yourself, and be committed to your path. What is it that you want? And be clear on it. Be aware of it. And then you're not going to go wrong. I guess I have another caller. So, if I could get 216, please, Roz, that would be fantastic, please.
Hello?
Hello, how are you? And
Good.
who may I
How
ask
are you this
am I
evening?
talking to? I'm doing very
My
well.
name is Sharon. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday to you, too. Yes, it's Monday. Yay! But anyway, we just got off of a weekend, and where are you located? Hopefully not anywhere near those hurricanes, I hope.
No, Ohio.
Well, that's a
I
little
live in
safer.
Ohio. Yeah. Yeah, the Ohio, the Cleveland area.
Okay. It says that you get a bunch of snow there during the winters, though, don't you?
Absolutely. Oh, my gosh.
That's
This was a kind of a light winter, though, actually. Last year.
Yeah. I'll wait until
We'll
this
see what
winter.
happens
I got
this
a
winter.
funny feeling. Yeah, I got funny feelings about this one. So what can I do for you today?
Well, I am trying to change careers, and I was wondering, the one that I got didn't work out, and I was wondering if you see me, I'm interviewing, if I'm going to get an offer soon.
Okay. Let me give the cards a quick shuffle on that. An offer
It's
soon.
going to come by the end of the year. Oh, gosh, yeah.
Well, actually, I feel it almost feels like it's going to happen sooner than just the end of the year. I do get, though, that there does need to, yes, I totally get you here, because even with the cards, it's telling me that, yeah, this career was definitely done. It was not in a good place for you. It almost felt like you were, let's put it this way, it was between a rock and a hard place, not knowing which way to turn sometimes, huh?
Yeah, it was the man. It was awful. Oh gosh. But I was only there a month. Thank God I got a job instantly. My girlfriend's a recruiter, so I did get a temp position. I'm there now. I wasn't even out of work, but still it was a disappointment. It was a great job. But I'm moving on. I haven't even thought about it, to tell you the truth. But do you see me getting an offer?
I am seeing you getting something here actually very, very quickly. Like I said, definitely before the end of the year. That's no doubt about that. Now, time-wise, I am getting... I actually want to say in about 6 weeks, something is going to come about. And I don't know why. It just feels like around... Oh, let's narrow this down. 6 to 8, well, let's call it 6 to 8 weeks, actually, is what it kind of feels like. Now, the thing is, though, is that I do feel like there is going to be some sort of offer coming about. I am getting somebody here, I do feel that there is somebody that's very, wow, they just seem very strong, very, I don't want to say domineering, but they're just very, okay, I'm the boss, this is the way it is, that type of person sort of thing. They're very confident in who they are, very strong. The thing is that, and that's something that you're going to have to be cognizant of. So that's something that, let's put it this way, if you're kind of a strong person yourself, which I do feel that you are actually, but it's something, though, that, let's put it this way, there can be maybe a hint of conflict there, but the thing is that I do feel that you can actually work with them on this, okay? It's almost like there will be some mutual respect here is what I'm kind of getting at.
I was just going to say that. There can be conflict if there's respect. I've worked in the corporate world. I know. The job that ended, there was no respect there at all. But I know what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah. It just feels like, it's somebody that's just going to be, like I said, they're just very strong. They're very they know what they want. They know how to get it, and that's what they're looking for. But I think the thing is that if you offer what it is that they're looking for, but also, working in your own way, I think they're going to respect that, and then they're going to go, okay, let's do it, that type of thing. But it does feel like, though, that when you do get that opportunity, make certain that, hey, this, and be open and honest with that person and say, like, hey, this is the type of person that I am, and be honest with them. And they're going to, like, let's put it this way, it almost feels as if they're going to, like, oh, great, like, I don't have a yes person. It's somebody that's going to be kind of like questioning, that's going to be looking for improvements, those types of things. And that's what I'm kind of getting at from them, actually, or that feel from them anyway. So make certain that you're kind of, like, you feel it out as you're talking to that person. But as you're talking to them, you'll be able to say, like, okay, yes, but this is who I am. And I do like to express my opinions, and it's nothing against you or anything like that, but I just want to express them, and I do want to be open and honest with you about them. That's all. That type of thing. And then they will respect you, I think, from that. You see what I mean? Like, it's kind of like, if you're just kind of like up front and forward, like I said, just
yes,
being
ma'am.
forward with them. Exactly. Yeah. Okay. I think it's going to do very well. You're very welcome. My pleasure.
Have a nice evening.
You too. Bye-bye. Okay. So, once again, like I said, I do have a couple of things coming up here. Already half hour has already passed, and wow, time flies when you're having fun here. That's for sure. Anyway, and I do have a tendency to ramble and get kind of passionate about certain things, and I guess there's another aspect too of being a leader is to be passionate. If you believe in something, bring the passion out. Like, I'm not saying like to be the Tony Robbins type of person and start jumping up and down and dancing, and heaven knows I've seen enough of those types of people. And yes, there's something to that. It's kind of like that whole revivalist sort of feel or vibe, like when you had some of those church services that, where they put the tent up back in the day, and like people would be singing and clapping and just getting really revved up, which is great. But the thing is that how long does that last? And that's the key here. You want to make this feeling last, and you don't necessarily have to jump up and down and get yourself, like I said, like Tony Robbins does or whatever. If you're not that type of person, that's okay. But feel the passion of something within you. Put that passion out there. Even if it's like, and for some people, it's not necessarily a career thing. You don't have to have it as a career. But it could be something that's on the side or that's, part-time. If it's something within your own, let's say, like I said, even within your own family, if you're passionate about something, like whether it even be about camping or getting the kids involved with swimming or something like that, and you feel passionate about it, well, what's going to happen? The rest of your family is going to be swept up sometimes in that passion too, and that's a good thing. Like, I feel like Martha Stewart when I said that. Heaven knows, I guess I don't really look like Martha Stewart. But the thing is that, like, have that passion, and it is going to be a good thing. And express yourself. Express yourself as much as possible, and and if you want to jump up and down, then you go right ahead and do that. If you like a certain song that gets you fired up in the morning, well, then do that. Get yourself into those healthy routines, and that's something that I've been struggling at, like over the past little while, is like having a healthy routine first thing in the morning. Getting up at a certain time and, like going to the gym and drinking enough water in the day, those types of things. But they're all little bits and pieces that add up and lead to a very sweet life. And that's the thing here. You want to have a sweet life, and you can have it, and that's the thing. Anybody can have it. Anybody can feel it. Anybody can enjoy it. But you have to be able to grasp for it first. And to grasp for it does require you to possibly get up off the couch or off the chair and start moving that little bit. Another thing, too, I got some things here coming up this weekend. I will be in Ottawa this weekend. I will be doing a psychic fair there where I'll be doing some aura photography once again. I was 2 weeks ago. I was at the long weekend in Kitchener in Ontario, doing my aura photography there. Lots of fun, lots of great faces that I saw from the past, and some new ones that I've met as well. And it's always so nice, like to see various members of various communities, I guess you could say, around Ontario, some very open, from all walks of life. And that's the neat thing about all of this, like people are interested, people are curious, they want to learn a little bit more about spirituality and about how energy works or why it does the things that it does. And everything is intertied. Like I've had, like physicists, that, theoretical physicists. I've had psychotherapists. I had sociologists. I actually had a sociologist last weekend that was, like I asked him, like, oh, what do you think of this psychic fair stuff? And he goes, well, it's very interesting. Like you could tell, like he was kind of questioning, like the hows and the whys. But the thing is, like whether you believe in this or not, the thing is that I know, let's say even within myself too, is that I've had too many, and I know that many of the readers within the Goldilocks family here that have had so many different experiences that have been so unique, where like information just kind of came to you, and you don't know where it came from. But the person that is sitting across from you is sitting there going like, holy crap, where did that come from? And I know I've had so many experiences. Like I had one lady, for example, like she sat down for me, and for some sort of reason I had a baby basically kind of pop up into my head, and I said, oh, for some sort of reason I'm getting this child around you, and for some sort of reason he's holding this feather in his hand. And at that point, unfortunately, she did start to cry. But the thing is that it did give her, I guess you could say, that realization that yes, there is a life after life. And she did lose a child. I believe her baby was about 18 months at that time when he did pass. I think it was like due to SIDS or something like that. But she did mention, though, that she did bury him with an eagle feather in his hand. So it really, like, where did that come from? Like, where did I get that from? And I know that many other readers all have had that. So there is something to this, and there's something that ties us all together. And it's that that's out there, and maybe that's why these hurricanes are starting to come up, because the world has this consciousness, like we're all interconnected. And when you have, let's say, for example, something bad happening in one spot, it may manifest itself in another. We can change who we are, very simply. And if you look at, let's say, for example, Dr. Emoto's work, he was that, I don't know if you're familiar with him or not, but he was a Japanese, if I'm not mistaken, scientist who basically flash froze water. And the thing is that when you look at, let's say, for example, if you concentrated on the water, I guess you could say, ahead of time and said, like, and you gave it angry, negative type thoughts, and when it was flash frozen, it really like made the crystals kind of ugly and kind of misshapen, and they didn't look like the pretty snowflakes that they should have been. And yet, when you give, let's say, another glass of water, positive, loving sort of thoughts, what does it do? And when you flash freeze it, it turned it into something beautiful. Well, what is our body? Our body is, like 90% or 85% water, whatever I know it's a lot. Let's put it that way. It's just a lot. But the thing is that when you're putting these thoughts out there, you're changing something within yourself physically. Okay? And that's the biggest thing here. There is something physical that does happen, and I see it all the time, like when I do aura photography. And people get surprised every time, because it's like, oh, yeah, that's what I actually do, or this is what I think about, or whatever. And yes, I am a real analytical sort of person, those types of things, all depending on their chakras and the colors. But those thoughts that they have within them does change something within their physiology. And if you look at it from a larger perspective, like we're putting out these thoughts. Let's say, for example, like, okay, North Korea set off that nuclear explosion. That's something scary. Like we all have been worrying about that since, oh God, even before the 80s and stuff like that, during the Cold War and so forth. Like it was scary stuff, that we had around us. And you had so many people around the world focusing on that one aspect. A lot of people got afraid. A lot of people got scared. And what does it do? The collective consciousness of the planet basically kind of went into like, like scared mode. And in turn, that's going to affect something. That's going to change something. Like now start looking at it as like, okay, let's say, for example, like I myself, I look at that aspect, that thing that happened. And now I'm not looking at it from like, initially, yes, I was a little scared about that. But now I am going to look at it from another perspective and say, like, you know what? I'm going to send North Korea as much love and as much care and compassion and everything else as possible. And if everyone else in the world can do the same, maybe there can be some changes that'll happen. Like we can be very strong as a group if we just allow ourselves to do that. I have another caller, and I guess this might be our last one, hopefully. 804, so could come through, please.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
I'm terrific. My name is Hugh, and I thank you for all the wisdom you're bringing forth. I'm actually a global visionary and looking to bring forth ways for people to empower themselves through spirituality and unconditional agape love. I wanted to see if you pick up anything on a very powerful interview I did last month that addresses the chaos globally.
Oh, okay. You said you did an interview?
Yes, in August. I'd love to share it if I can.
Absolutely. Go right ahead.
Yes, it's on YouTube. If you just put the words Dennis, D-E-N-I-S, or no, Dave, D-A-V-E, interviews Hugh, H-U-G-H, Traulsen, T like Tom, R-A-U-L-S-E-N like Nancy. And I actually resonated with everything he was saying. I've had quite a bizarre life and been set up in all kinds of situations, but I learned to let go and let God handle things when I couldn't anymore. And as long as I held my faith strongly, it always would work out. I've been through disasters. I was flooded out in the blizzard in 1978 up in New Hampshire with 18 inches of ocean water in a first floor apartment, lost everything with no insurance. So I commiserate with all the people going through disasters. And they are a wake-up call. In the first place, if you're not in the areas where they're experiencing that, you should be grateful that you aren't having to go through that, and then send them prayers and light and love and anything that you can according to the way the authorities are saying. I think financially it's probably best to give money to the right kind of agencies, because too many people start cleaning out their closets and garages and stuff, and they don't need a bunch of stuff that like 10,000 teddy bears for 2 kids or whatever.
Yeah, sometimes they just need that extra fan or whatever it is to dry out.
Well, even just the prayers is tremendous, like you were just saying, because it's been proven that, I think it was in Washington, D.C. years ago, they had prayer groups that wanted to test to see if they could lower the crime rate during the summer, and the police chief said, no, that's not going to happen. But it did lower it 23%. And I think over in Australia, there were indigenous Aborigine women. They were predicting a huge earthquake, and they did prayer circles and things, and it really tamped down the extent of the quake when it did happen tremendously.
Well, like I said, I do believe that the world does have a global consciousness about it, and it's just
right.
How does it get affected? We can affect it a little bit. Let's say mine plus yours plus, let's say, another million people out there, and unfortunately we don't have a million listeners, but maybe one day we will. The thing is that if we can all just add our little bits to it, it will, I feel anyway, make some positive changes. And you're right, it's amazing what the power of prayer can actually do for the world or for people in general. It's a very strong tool.
Exactly.
We just don't use it enough.
No.
There's a reason why we used to say grace. Let's say, for example, even just over our food. When we get a meal, let's say, for example, people would say grace. And what are you doing? You're changing the energetic aspects of that meal just that little bit. And in turn, you're harmonizing that meal within your own body. And that's the thing there. A lot of people don't realize it, but yeah, it's something that's old. And yes, we have that gratitude and that gratefulness to it, but there's an actual energetic component that goes along with it.
Right.
Yeah. So anyway, what can I do for you today?
Well, I just wanted to see if you had any confirmation on how that interview might be glowing throughout the world.
Okay. Well, let me put it to you this way. Now, you say it's on YouTube, right?
Yes.
So what I do want to say actually is let's put it this way. I'm not Googling it or anything like that. And I will get you to repeat that title again here very soon. I do feel that what needs to be done, though, is that it needs to be kind of reintroduced as well. Make certain that it's up on the Facebook and all the other social media sort of aspects every once in a while. Put it out there. Make certain that find the good groups in Facebook or whatever it is that it's going to resonate with. Where people will actually click on it and resonate with, and tune into it. And then, like I said, that's when it starts kind of building a little bit at a time. Also, too, I'm kind of feeling, too, that you kind of, I don't know, have you approached any regular media?
Well, I as I say, I'm a way shower, and I have a long history of all kinds of bizarre experiences. Mainstream media runs for me because I'm all about truth and transparency, and like you were talking about before, they love to sell the negative things, so they're not interested in the positive aspects. And so I'm a former whistleblower, too, who I was written up in a Wall Street Journal article back in 1983 that triggered an investigation that eventually led to the resignation of Jim Wright from Speaker of the House in shame. That third highest office in the country. I actually share common background with President Trump, but I'm not into the ego, and my last name has global recognition. So there's a lot to me. It's like going down the rabbit hole.
I'd love to have you back on again maybe someday.
Well, what I'd love to do is, I don't use email. The things on the internet have been put there by people who interact with me, but I love everything that you were saying, and I think there's ways that we can joint venture and collaborate and start uniting people. And my biggest mission and vision is rooting out corruption globally. That's the biggest problem mankind has had, and as I do that to empower women and indigenous people, as I bring in new paradigms based on spirituality and unconditional agape love to transform economics, education, politics, and religion.
Yeah, it's all intertied and intertwined, I guess you could say.
Yes, exactly.
Why don't you give our listeners out there that title again? That
yes, because the women that are looking for jobs too. I just want to interject that the jobs that I grew up with, and my parents working 20, 30 years or more for a company, people are having numerous jobs or changing jobs quite a bit, but I'm looking to even shift the way the whole business atmosphere is done to show that you can have the best product, the best customer service. It's no longer enough. Companies have to really empower their employees, their customers, be good to the environment, and give back to the community in ethical, legal, moral, transparent ways. Otherwise, as these things shift, they'll be going by the wayside left and right. But if you just go on YouTube and put the words Dave, D-A-V-E, interviews Hugh, H-U-G-H, last name Charlson, the first letter is T like Thomas, then R-A-U-L-S-E-N like Nancy. And my phone number is on the site, and if you see my number there, even after the show, if you just want to give me a quick holler, I'd love to see what we can start manifesting to be a blessing to others.
Well, I would love, like I said, I would love to have you back on. We can.
Yeah, we can arrange that, because I think you're in a good network there too. With what is the Goldilocks Productions? Is it?
Yes, they're a lovely group, that's for sure, run by a wonderful woman there.
Are they doing video too?
Well, yes, there's some video.
Yeah, that's a big area. Yep, that's what's going to transform a lot of things.
Absolutely, because and that's the thing here that video makes it simpler for people.
Right.
Unfortunately, when we used to read more when we were younger and stuff like that, but unfortunately, because due to people with time constraints and everything else that goes along with it, video does make things simpler.
Right.
So anyway, thank you very much for calling. I do feel, like I said, that things are going to actually pick up for you here, but it does feel like it's still going to take a little time for a little bit more momentum to keep going, though. Actually, I want to say that there's going to be something is going to occur, and if I don't want to say the last quarter, but I actually kind of want to say around maybe either December, January, something there is going to happen where, let's put it this way, there's going to be an increase in the, I guess you could say, the viability and the aspect of all this stuff kind of coming out and through, sort of thing. So I think there's going to be some good changes here for you. It's just a matter of...
Oh, I feel it, and I even if I'm just planting seeds, I'll be 73 later on this month, but I always say it's in God's time and in God's way, not mine. So I just put it out and leave it up to let it manifest the way God wants it to. But as I get off, I just want to give you a quick little poem that I created years ago that's got a lot of power to it. It's discussed as a weapon against terrorism. It's in the President Ronald Reagan Library, and Maya Angelou even commented on my poem. It's 3 lines long. It's titled Caring, Sharing, and it reads, "If you dare to care, then share. If you share, pay heed. God will reward every good deed. It really sums up what life should be all about. So those that are having difficulties, instead of focusing on that, focus on being grateful for what you do have and look for ways that you can help those who can't help themselves, and that will be a blessing back to you. So I thank you so much for the time tonight, and I look forward to speaking with you even after the show or whenever you want to call me.
Yes, I will be in touch with you, and thank you very much for reaching out today. I really do.
Thank you. God bless everyone, and we'll get there.
Yes, you too. Okay, bye-bye. So, what a wonderful caller at the end of the show here. I'm glad I was able to pick him up. Anyway, it looks like we're pretty much out of time. Like I said, I am going to be in Ottawa this next coming weekend. Over at the Thompson Psychic Fairs, I believe that's what it's called. I will be posting something up on my Facebook page as well in regards to it. So if you are in the area and you are interested in getting your aura checked and your chakras checked, I would love to meet you. Or even if you just want to come by the table and just say hi, that would be fantastic too. I also set up a thing on October 4th, if I'm not mistaken. But let me put it to you this way. I will be doing a past life regression over at Moonflowers. It's going to be a group sort of meeting, I guess you could say. And it's always kind of interesting, in regards to your past lives and what they actually what can come out of it. Lots of healing can be done there. Let's put it that way. It can be very transformational. So anyway, I want to just thank you all again for giving me a call today, and for all of you for listening as well. God bless everyone, and for all of those that are in Florida and Texas and anywhere else that has been affected by the flooding, as well as those that have been affected by the 9/11 issues back in 2001, and I pray for all of you, and I do hope everybody gets back on their feet as quickly as possible. Thank you very much, and have yourself a wonderful night. Bye-bye.
And now, insurance-minded speeches from Geico.
Hardship. My grandmother would go through it every month to pay her insurance bill. First, she would handwrite a paper check, in cursive. Then, using her own tongue, she would wet a stamp for an envelope. Today, however, we need not weary our hands and tongues. Today, we can pay our Geico bill with the Geico app. Away with hardship, in with bill pay on the Geico app. Thank you.
When I grow up, I want to make a pizza with the most cheese and the most pepperoni at the nation's best price, $6. It's going to be the best pizza ever.
Sorry, kid. It's been done. Introducing the new Little Caesars Extra Most Bestest Pizza. A large pizza with the most cheese and the most pepperoni at the nation's best price.
But my mom said...
Shh! This much cheese and pepperoni is what dreams are made of. Come get a large, hot and ready Extra Most Bestest Pizza for just $6, only at Little Caesars.
Pizza.
At participating locations plus tax.